Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Thornhill, and welcome back for our fourth week of Couch Readings, a live stream interactive table readings of short plays. After taking the week off, we are back and excited to share with you our live stream table read of My Director by playwright Emma Dawson. My Director is a ridiculously silly workplace drama featuring a ruthless personal assistant, a mysterious head of technology, and an eccentric aristocratic director. We are very excited to have Emma Dawson with us today, and she will join us after the reading for a short discussion about her play. For us today, we have two UK actors, Sarah Feltham as Shona and Nick Wyshaka as Beb. Now, Nick, I know I butchered your last name.
That was appalling.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Very well, thanks. Apart from that terrible pronunciation of my surname, I almost left the call.
I usually have my checklist here of things to ask beforehand, and that was one I missed. So very sorry about that.
I'm joking.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves, Nick. We'll get a perfect pronunciation of your name now. Go ahead.
My name's Nick Wishner. I'm from Guildford in Surrey in the UK. That was my wife. She's left the building now, I promise you.
Okay, Sarah.
I'm Sarah Feltham. I'm from, so you also said my name wrong, but you know, I can get over that. I'm from Bromsgrove near Birmingham. And I haven't got a wife.
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now let's not waste any more time and go ahead and get on with our reading. So we present to you My Director by Emma Dawson. Beb, an IT guy, walks swiftly up to Shona, a personal assistant, who is at her desk typing. He has any accent but an RP one.
Are you Shona Littleton?
Yes.
The personal assistant of Horatio Pensible Smythe?
Yes.
You logged this complaint about Mr. Pensible Smythe's problem with his computer?
Beb
Yeah,
produces a printed email, which Shona glances at.
yes, I did.
Did you suspect that it had any connection to malware when you logged this complaint?
Okay, I'm assuming you're from IT.
Yes, I'm clearly from IT. Could you comment on the malware situation, please?
Okay, no, I didn't. I don't work in IT.
Well, you should have noticed. It's pretty obvious.
Like I said, not my area.
If you or your boss ever see a banned website message when you're trying to access a banned website, like a banned website example would be sex toys or guns or the lottery, then you must come to the IT department immediately so we can isolate your computer from the network.
Okay, thanks. Is that all?
No, I've been sent here to reprimand you and take Horatio's laptop into custody.
What?
What? We need to impound the laptop. It could have infected the whole network.
Okay. Excuse me. But I reported this 3 weeks ago. If you're worried about the network, it's too late.
That's not possible.
Look at the date on the email.
Beb looks at the email and goes slightly pale.
I'll deal with that later. For now, I must have the laptop.
You can't have it. It's in a meeting.
You agreed in your contract to take security matters seriously, so hand me the laptop now.
Sorry, but I'm not walking into my director's meeting and demanding he give me his laptop. Are you crazy? It'd eat me alive.
Then he'd be in breach of his contract too, and that's very, very serious.
Look, he needs his laptop because he likes to write emails during his meeting.
You should be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that in a meeting. It's so rude.
He's the director. Who are you to tell him what he should or shouldn't do in his meetings?
You need to go and get that laptop now. Say it's an emergency.
He won't say yes, and I can't just grab it off him. He'd grab it back. You've basically picked the worst time possible, and he never gives up easily.
Well, that can't be helped. Come on now.
No, this is ridiculous. Come back tomorrow.
Absolutely not.
I'm not getting myself into trouble for you.
You leave me no choice but to call the head of IT.
Fine. Do it.
You sure?
Yes.
Fine. On your head be it.
Beb exits. Shona rolls her eyes. Beb enters again, dressed in a different jacket with a different accent, not RP.
Miss Littleton, I presume.
I thought you were getting the head of IT.
I am the head of IT.
So you exited to get yourself? Do you have two jobs, or did you just pretend to be the head of IT a minute ago?
You must be mistaken. Now, this is a very serious matter, Miss Littleton.
Miss, actually. And back to your identity. You're obviously the same person. You've just changed your jacket and accent.
We're twins, okay? Now listen, Ms. Littleton. I've notified the security squad. They're about to cut your boss off from the network as we speak.
You can't, he's the director.
We can, and we will. Also, Dido Crops has been informed of the situation and is fully briefed about the lack of cooperation.
No.
Yes. Now tell me, Ms. Littleton, did you ever notice your boss looking at inappropriate sites?
No. But he never let me see his computer, of course. I might have seen something confidential.
We suspect the malware, as yet unproven, came from a specific source. Do you understand my meaning?
I get what you're implying, but that's nothing to do with me. And Horatio has an excellent reputation.
Did you suspect he was watching such material?
No.
Does he take his laptop home?
I shouldn't answer that.
Well, you have to. I'm the head of IT.
Confidentiality is in my job description, mate.
Very well. Dido and I will ask your boss these questions directly. She's on her way as we speak. Now, take me to him.
I can't. I told you.
I don't remember you saying anything of the sort.
I did. I said it when you weren't the head of IT. Sorry. Okay, I mean when your twin, who also works in IT, was here.
Yes. So you didn't say it to me, did you?
You can't see my boss now. I'm forbidden from disturbing him in meetings. He'd fire me.
This is extremely serious and could result in both your contracts being terminated. So arguing about this is pointless. Go in there, get that laptop, and get him while you're at it.
But you do it if you're so keen. After all, it's your problem.
I can't do that.
Why not?
It's beneath my dignity.
Well, it's also beneath my dignity.
But you're a PA.
And?
I'm the head of a department. If it's beneath anyone's dignity, and it is, it's beneath mine, not yours.
Why? Because I'm so unimportant?
Yes.
Wow. You're really sweet-talking me now.
I shouldn't have to sweet-talk you. You should do what I say.
You're not my boss.
In this context, I am.
Okay, this is insane.
This is not insane. This is about network security, a most important issue, Ms. Littleton.
Okay, so I'm not going in that room.
If the network's infected because of you, there'll be hell to pay.
I didn't infect the bloody network.
Hey, no swearing in the office.
That's more of a guideline.
You've just manifestly demonstrated your lack of professionalism.
Well, I think it was called for. Besides, Horatio is very supportive of his employees' right to swear. Look, I'll bring it to you when his meeting finishes at 6 if he'll give it me, or I'll bring him and the laptop if not.
But the IT team finishes at 5:30.
Well, if it's so important, can't someone wait?
Absolutely not. We don't revolve around you.
Horatio's in that meeting, not me. Fine, so I'll bring it, or it and him, to you tomorrow morning then.
We must contain the virus tonight.
But it's nearly 5:30 now, and you said everyone goes home then, so nobody's going to be sorting out the virus today anyway.
These details don't concern you.
Oh, wait a second.
What?
This is obviously a setup.
Excuse me?
I'm not going along with this anymore. It's a test.
No, I'm the head of IT.
Yeah, Horatio did say that my appraisal might take a different format this year. I thought he meant something like I got to talk about my career aspirations before admin for once, but now I see that. So it's an extreme situations test.
Miss Littleton, you're very much mistaken.
He's seeing how I handle pressure, weird situations. Did I pass?
About that laptop?
Come on, did I? Gosh, just the crazy sort of thing he'd do.
Webb changes accents again.
I'm going to stop you there. You failed.
What?
You were actually doing pretty well. refusing to cooperate with IT, noticing that I was probably not the twin of the previous guy, adamant about not disturbing a meeting, and good use of trying to bend deadlines to your boss's advantage. But you could have busted my ruse earlier, and then you admitted that Mr. Percival Smythe is enthusiastic about swearing, a revealing detail which was halfway to fail. And then finally the nail in the coffin was when you called him crazy. And though it was said in somewhat of an affectionate way, he would not approve of being discussed in this manner in front of anybody, especially a total stranger claiming to work for IT and also to manage the IT department. You can see I'm not even wearing my regulation name badge.
Oh, no!
Sorry, Miss Littleton. You gave it a fair crack, though.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
Well, there's not much more I can say. Oh, don't cry.
I'll lose my job.
I just submit the report. Mr. Percival Smythe will make the final call.
He won't find anyone who'll defend him from time wasters like I do. They call me his bulldog, and
Shauna dissolves into tears.
I'll leave you then.
no, wait, please, don't hand in that report. Just delete the bit about me calling him crazy and then hand it in. I meant it lovingly, I did, but it was a slip. It was stupid, and I didn't mean it like that. Just that it's a bit unusual to appraise an employee in this manner.
I absolutely can't. I would get into no end of trouble. I'm known for my objectivity.
Are you open to bribes?
Indeed not.
Because if you like cricket. So my cousin has a flat near the Oval and you could use his parking space for free. I mean, if you delete that section.
I couldn't possibly take a bribe.
You don't like cricket. What then? Not sex. I'm asexual, but anything else?
I'm going to stop you there before you humiliate yourself further, Miss Littleton. You've passed.
What?
The first part of the test was resistance, which you excelled at. The intention of the second part of the exercise was to test your reaction to criticism and your commitment to your job. And I'm pleased to say you did even better on that one.
Really?
Yes.
Thank God. Well, so you're serious now?
Most assuredly. After all, Mr. Percival Smythe doesn't mind people calling him crazy. They've done that for decades.
Okay.
I should know. I'm his. I should go now. I'm his valet, though my role is rather more fluid than that. Anyway, congratulations, Miss Littleton. I'll leave you to enjoy your evening. Due to you passing the test, you may leave 10 minutes early. Don't waste them.
Beb exits. Shauna stares after him. Blackout. Brilliant job. Thank you guys so much. That was a lot of fun. Now, just before we get into anything else, I'd like to go ahead and welcome the creator of the words you've just heard, Emma Dawson. Hello, Emma. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love that. I'm laughing away.
Good. Great. Okay, now let's go ahead and not waste any time and jump into just some discussions about the plays. Now, first, I have a few questions that I'd like to ask the cast, just with the intention to spark conversation and to help Emma out with a thought-provoking and beneficial discussion. So, both for you, Nick and Sarah, I'd like to start with just a one-word response or short phrase that kind of expresses your gut-level impression of the play.
Up to you.
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh.
So you go, Nick.
Silly and humorous.
Yes. And then that was exactly what Emma used whenever she gave me her little blurb. Was silly was one of the main words. So you hit the nail on the head with that one. So that's good. Okay, Sarah.
So I'm still trying to get myself a little bit out of Shona's headspace. So the biggest thing in my head is like WTF. But to describe the play as a whole, for just a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, for Shona's character, correct, yeah. Perfect. And then just the last one here, we'll start with Nick again. What moments in the play stood out to you? What was that one moment that really stuck out after reading through it?
I think the stick out thing is how obvious the character is. There's no denying what the truth is. So when it gets revealed at the end, it's not like a big shock. So I think the big standout thing for me is the kind of the obviousness of the stupidity, and I can't believe that she doesn't guess earlier that it's some sort of test.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes, Sarah.
Yeah. So I guess I was a bit torn with that. Like maybe if I did it again, I'd play it a bit more like. Do you remember the Dappy Secretary on the British Empire? I don't know if you used to watch that in the 80s. But like she's kind of a bit, and then she's like, oh, is it not? And I think I tried to play a bit more savvy than that. In which case, I guess my interpretation would be that there was every now and then he said stuff that was like just got the bejesus out of her and made her think of about a mortgage or something like that, wasn't it? But yeah. So yeah.
Perfect. All right, now Emma, over to you. My first question for you is, what was your inspiration for writing the play?
So I used to work as a PA. And obviously none of this happened to me except for the bit where I did get IT run up to me and say there was a virus on the system. I had to take my boss's laptop. My boss would not give up his laptop. So, you know, I like writing about PAs because they don't feature much in films, in books, in plays. They're normally the people answering the phones. They don't ever get like a leading part. But it's a very weird thing being a PA. You're very close to a boss, and nobody else is in the company. You're practically the only one, and you're very, very junior in a way, but you're very, very powerful in a way. And exactly. You're the one who gets to interact with that important person, and people communicate through you. And quite often you would be telling people, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, no, like he'd say, no, I'm not doing that. So I just think being a PA is absolutely hilarious. And I had to write a play about it.
Perfect. Oh, that was so good. Now, now that you've heard it, how do you perceive the PA? How did she come across to you? Was it what you intended? And you know, so just tell us a little bit about that.
I think Sarah picked up on a point that she is stupider than I remember when I wrote her. She's quite smart at the beginning, but then she does get caught up into this totally stupid situation. She kind of just loses sight of the very obvious deception partway through. I think she's a bit too wrapped up in her job and her Horatio worship to quite see what's going on. So I think that's quite an interesting angle I might want to play with later when I redraft it.
Perfect. That's exactly what we're here to do. Help you, come up in your mind with ways to, kind of give it a rewrite or look at it from a different way.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask Sarah or Nick based on what it is that you had listened to?
Nick, did you find Beb's constant changing of personality difficult?
Well, when I first read it, my first fear was I can't do accents. So when you kept saying, don't do this, don't do that, I thought you're going to get what you're given because I've only got 2 accents. So sorry about that. But, I like the way he jumps around. He'd definitely be a fun person to have on his feet on stage. I think it's the kind of piece that, along with a lot of short plays, and I read quite a lot, that work better when they're on their feet. Definitely. So this is a great platform to do it because it's all we can do. But I'll be really excited to see a couple of actors do this on stage.
Oh yeah, with the jacket changing and everything. That's like obviously ludicrously bad costume changing, but I suppose it would be fun to do.
Yeah. I think that's the charming part about it, is, and you going off of, you don't have these different accents or anything like that. For me, I think it's just the difference in personalities and the way that he presents himself. It really kind of, shows the ridiculousness of it and going back and forth. So I'm 100% with you, Nick. I would love to see it on its feet and see what someone could do with it just based off of that.
It'd also be quite funny if he actually didn't change accent at all, and all that changed was the coat. It's like, that's completely ridiculous. Yeah.
No, exactly.
I think that would work with the general, I realised quite how absurd it was now that I'm hearing it out loud. So if I could camp it up a bit, I think that would be great.
Perfect. Anything else, Emma?
Sarah, did you find Shona? How powerless did you think Shona was from your reading of the script?
Powerless. I don't know if, God, I didn't get a sense of powerless. I almost felt like strength, like it was my job to protect this man, and I was a little bit in love with Horatio. So I felt it brought out a bit of fire, and especially when you got to bite back at bits like, oh, so that's unimportant, is it? And you're sweet talking me. No, I felt like she was growing teeth as opposed to, because she had to fight because there was a potential of losing power, I guess. But yeah, no, I think she had strength. I think it's really interesting, by the way, what you said about PAs. I don't know if you've been watching the crazy Tiger King thing that's going on.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Well, in that, there's somebody who, you know, suspected of being murdered in there, and they're like, the only one who really knows is the PA who's party to all the finances, all the gossip. You know, that's such a great angle to write a play from. You know, those sorts of eyes who sees everything but says nothing.
Of course, yeah.
That's a position of power.
You don't see, like you were both saying, you know, there is a position of power there, even though being such a junior member, but you don't ever see a story from that end. You don't ever know what they're thinking or what's going through their mind when they're sitting with their guests. And I think this is a brilliant way to, you know, see it from that angle, which is great.
Another good exercise that might be quite fun to try is to swap the PA and the boss's sex. So the PA is a bloke and the boss is a woman, just to see if it changes some of the dialogue, because then I'm coming in talking to another bloke, and often that changes the way you speak to each other. I'm not saying that's the way it should be done, but it might be quite an eye-opening exercise.
Well,
I
yeah,
find
exactly.
the whole idea of male PA is quite interesting, because I work in London, and generally in the workplaces I've worked in, they've been all female. Maybe there's been one male. Obviously there are male PAs, but they're very obviously a minority, and I think that's a very interesting fact in itself, and how that might change the power balance if it was a male, or if perhaps if the PA wasn't young. Obviously some PAs are young, but there are lots of PAs who are a variety of ages, so it really varies. But there's an interesting power dynamics, whatever's going on.
We're watching Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime at the moment. And the PA in that, I think we're on season 3 or 2. The PA that the husband has got is an older woman. That would also be quite interesting.
Oh, yes.
She's really strong as well, a strong Jewish lady.
Yeah.
And in Mad Men, there's some very, very powerless PAs, but there's definitely the odd, really, really tough PA who everyone's terrified of. I really like those characters.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, like Nick was saying, Emma, I mean, it would be a great exercise, even if it's not something that you hear read out or anything, but just to put it in your mind when you're writing it, the different, you know, genders or different ages or anything with the PA might be a really good exercise to, you know, kind of pull out some different things, which I think would be fantastic.
I'm already starting to envision a play of many PAs.
Very good. Perfect.
Which is great. If you've got my brain ticking, I really need a full-length play idea to write in this lockdown.
Yeah.
There you go. Brilliant. That's awesome. Okay, so before we go here, I'd just like to go ahead and throw out a few shout outs for some of the exciting projects our artists today are coming up with. First, we're going to start with Nick.
Clever.
And
very smart. Look at this.
Like that, right? Through his businesses, the Guildford Fringe Theatre Company and Gag House Comedy Club, Nick has quite a few projects coming up. And the one that's coming up tomorrow is a comedy club tomorrow night at 8 p.m. GMT. And you can go ahead and check them out there on their Facebook page. Nick, anything else you'd like to add?
That's very kind of you. Very good tech. Very impressed. Sarah's got some really exciting stuff as well she was telling us about earlier.
So mean. I have a period of self-development ahead of me. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And then also our playwright, Emma's full-length play Mum, will have a Zoom reading on the 1st of July at 7 p.m. BST, hosted by the Dramatists Guild of America. You can check out their Facebook page closer to the date, or go ahead to their website for more information. I'd just like to thank all of you guys for being here with us today. It's so much fun to, you know, sit down and just take a script and read through it and just see what comes of it. I can only imagine how beneficial it could be for the writer and just to keep us all acting and involved in the theater. So I thank you very, very much for being here. It was such a joy to present this extremely fun and silly drama. So thank you guys.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Well done.
Bye-bye. Now, during this difficult time, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and feature an organization that could really use our help. I recently came across the organization ASTEP, Artists Striving to End Poverty. It was founded in 2006 by Broadway musical director Mary Mitchell Campbell, and their mission is to connect performing and visual artists with underdeserved youth and awaken their imaginations to foster critical thinking skills and help break the cycle of poverty. So head on over to astep.org to learn more. And lastly, another cheeky little plug. If you're looking for an exciting Friday night, you can head on over to the Facebook group of Theater is the Cure for a full evening of live stream monologues produced by Logan Squared Productions. It was so much fun to watch last week's, which featured our playwright from today, Emma, and I've had the opportunity to direct one for tomorrow's live stream. So check it out if you're available. On behalf of myself, Emma, Sarah, and Nick, I would like to thank you for joining us today for our couch readings. Follow Thornhill Theater Space on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up to date, and join us next week for our next couch reading, All the Rice Paddies in the World by Danielle Waransky. Thank you again, and have a great day.